Well, let's now bring our guest for the conversation, as we promised you earlier, with the changes at Nigeria's oil and gas regulatory authorities. Our guest tonight is Olabode Sowunmi. He's an oil and gas expert, and he joins us virtually tonight from our Lagos studios. Thank you so much, Mr. Sowunmi, for joining us on the news tonight.
Good evening. Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
Great. I mean, two oil and gas chief executives resign on the same day. There's a long list of words to describe what has happened. Sudden, unique, but I wonder how you describe it, and what does this portend for the oil and gas industry, where you are an expert?
Okay, I mean, it's a development. It's a reality that has come to stay. It is life. So things happen. So it's life. I don't think we necessarily have to give too deep interpretation onto it in terms of whether there's going to be a revolution or not, because if you look at the barracks, I went to a military school. There will always be a general that comes and a general that goes and another general that comes. So there's a slogan, Nigerian slogan, says soldier come, soldier go, barracks remain. The industry will remain. There will always be changes, and expectedly, with the new people coming on board, new ideas, new direction. So we look forward to exciting times.
You do appreciate those who see this as, perhaps for Mr. Benga Komolafe at the NUPRC, as sudden. For Mr. Farouk Ahmed, on the other hand, he's faced allegations, particularly from Aliko Dangote, chairman and CEO of Aliko Dangote Industries. Do you appreciate those who think that this is the government silently resetting the sector, when you consider that these gentlemen are pioneer CEOs with the PIA Act?
Okay, so I'm a consultant, not a mind reader. My job is to interpret the facts that are on ground in the light of the background. Of course, there's no doubt that there have been background issues with respect to Alhaji Dangote and the erstwhile authority chief executive. But the decision, in terms of the final decision, lied with the president and the stakeholders around him. And I want to believe that when they looked at the direction of where the industry should be going and the totality of what is of interest to the industry, they came up with that decision. And let's see what the future looks like for everyone.
You're not a mind reader, Mr. Sowunmi, we do understand that. But, you know, for someone who understands this industry very well, are there any immediate risks when you see such gentlemen resign on the same day, perhaps for ongoing projects, ongoing supervision, investors' confidence? Are there any such risks?
So risk can only apply when a system is not working. So the whole concept is that a system is greater than an individual. And I want to believe that the two gentlemen that left built a system. So in other words, the system that exists will be such that there will be a continuum. That is not to say that there won't be changes that will be brought in terms of certain directions and how to do things by the new people. That's the whole idea of new blood into the system. But in terms of risk for operational activities, risk for the basic things, I don't think so. Because those two organizations are systems, and those systems will move on.
Okay, and let's speak to the elephant in the room. The episode between Mr. Farouk and Aliko Dangote really speaks to the issue of governance, accountability, oversight in the downstream sector and the oil and gas sector at large. What are the challenges really that the incoming CEO may have to face? These are grave allegations. They've now been handed officially to the anti-graft agency ICPC by Mr. Dangote, but those issues are issues on ground. They're issues of financial impropriety, issues of accountability in the industry. those are serious issues. They don't just go away with someone resigning, do they?
Well, first of all, I'm not an expert in law enforcement. I'm not an expert in accounting. I haven't been part of the system. I can say some things about corporate governance. But in terms of what the law enforcement will do, those who are in law enforcement are best to speak to that. In terms of the accounting process, whether it's fraud, what somebody earns, I really don't know. That is for those who are experts in those areas to handle. However, in terms of when you speak about corporate governance and all that, the laws that set up, that ensures corporate governance are there enshrined in the Petroleum Industry Act. I think for those who are coming in now and those who remain, it is incumbent upon everyone to ensure that those laws work and that corporate governance becomes the byword and the watchword for the industry, so that way Nigerians are served with a better industry, better value for money, better products, and at the end of it, the industry grows and grows to support Nigeria better.
You might be misunderstanding my question, Mr. Sowunmi. I'm not saying you work with the law enforcement. I'm saying these issues of corporate governance, like you've highlighted, associated with the industry, how crucial are they? Are these concerns that are real and germane? And how might the incoming CEO tackle such issues? That's really my question. I'm not asking you to do the job of the law enforcement agency, Mr. Sowunmi.
Okay, so what I said, and I meant in another way, is that the impact of a criminal or legal, it's the impact and the analysis of the impact can best be done with an expert in legal and the related matters, for which I have significant limitations. But if I'm to look at it on the surface, as every other layman, I will expect that whatever impact it was to mean negatively will have been the things that will have been forestalled by the nascent appointments or nascent announcements. So at the end of it, I do not see in any shape or form any risk, any negative impact in the industry. So what has happened is life. People grow, people come, people go, and the whole system moves on. So I don't think there's a basis for any issue, to be honest.
Okay, great. So let's step away from the controversy and in a way set an agenda. As someone in the industry and someone who understands what's on ground, for the incoming CEOs, what do you think should be their top priority as they come into office? Let's start with the NMDPRA, a position occupied by Mr. Farouk Ahmed. What should be top priority for the NMDPRA going forward?
Well, they are inheriting an industry which is going through a flux. That's a period of change. I would expect that he will bring his own identity in terms of direction to where the industry should go. That's what we should be expecting to hear from him in the next couple of days. It is the strength of that I believe will enable him, in terms of his own identity, to be able to harmonize a meeting of minds between those who have issues and those who have concerns. So that there are concerns from those who have invested, which is typified by what Aliko Dangote represents, and there are concerns from those who already have an existing system, which you have members of DAPMAN and the rest. So, and all of these are equally influential people in different ways. So I will expect leadership from the incoming CEO to be able to chart a way forward. Well, some people may go, some licenses may go, some licenses may not go, and there may not even be any change. But whatever happens, that is the responsibility of the incoming authority chief executive to give direction to how the industry should move on.
Very quickly for the NUPRC, we have seen Mr. Komolafe try to transform the agency, transparency in oil licensing for the fields He's done a couple of road shows trying to bring in, transparency. What should the new CEO be doing differently?
Okay, Mrs. Oyeson has had a distinguished career within the NNPC group. I mean, she started as a banker, by the way, and then she was Chief Strategy Officer for the NNPC. There is no doubt in my mind that the capacity to be able to channel and architect and build upon what is existing, correct the anomalies both within the system and outside the system lies within her. We should be expecting to hear some things from her in the coming days, which will set the direction of what is going to be done. But I have no doubt in my mind in terms of her capacity and historical antecedents for her to provide leadership. And it's a very good one for the women in energy and for women generally.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Olabode Sowunmi, oil and gas expert, joining us on News Tonight. We do appreciate your time.